Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So Margot Robbie has talked about her new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Now, before I get into what she says, I do want to say that watch out for misinformation. I've noticed, maybe as the more I've covered movies and games, I've seen more and more clickbait headlines, and yes, they've always been a thing, but regarding even things that I care about, I've seen interviews that then lead into titles on websites that completely change what the interview said. That actually happened a few days ago for Kingdom Hearts on a website that I actually follow. Then we have the Margot Robbie thing, which I tweeted actually on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me over there, by the way, podcast now 15. There was a tweet that came out talking about the reboot movie, and Margot Robbie was asked about it, and she was talking about her role in it, and she said that, she can't really say anything. And I tweeted, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because the, I guess, reboot, quote-unquote reboot, but Pirates 6, which is, I guess we can call it, that's not the same thing as her movie. So what I end up finding out is that was never the case. That website or that article, which, I mean, it got a lot of clicks, it got a lot of likes and retweets and all that stuff on Twitter, that you got to be careful, because that was actually a lie. So I want to just correct the record there. They were asking Margot Robbie about her specific Pirates of the Caribbean movie, the one with the Birds of Prey writer, a Pirates reboot / Pirates 6, right? With the original writer of Pirates. That is separate. That's a separate thing. That's the one we've always talked about with Johnny Depp. And so, okay, there's a couple things we got to talk about with Margot Robbie. We'll first talk about what she says, go over it, talk about her worries, and go from there. So speaking to Collider, Robbie was tight-lipped about plot details, but did give us plenty to start speculating about. When asked about new things the film would bring to the franchise, Robbie answered, "A lot of girl power. No, it's too early to talk about it. I love Christina, obviously. I'm not a producer on Pirates, so I'll sit back and kind of wait for the process. No, we're really, really excited at the prospect of adding, obviously, a very key female element to that world." And the thing goes on to say, and, obviously Birds of Prey was very female-focused. And then in a interview with comicbook.com, which I think this is the one that got mistranslated online, they asked her about the movie, and then she said, maybe, early days, but I shan't say no more for now. So she was asked about basically her involvement. That one came out first. That was basically them asking her, like, if she's starring in it, and she pretty much said, like, I can't say. But then in a different interview, she literally said what the whole, like, the idea of what the movie is going to be, right? So that's an issue. All right. Well, a couple things. I do want to make it very clear, because we've talked about this before. There's obviously a couple aspects of doing this in general that's going to make people mad. The fact that it doesn't have Jack Sparrow, obviously being the number one thing. So let me make it very, very clear where I stand on this. I agree with people, or I see what they're talking about. Okay, I see where you guys are coming from, where it's like, if you don't want this if you don't think Pirates can exist without Jack Sparrow, then that's your way. I have always said, and this is a good example, by the way, taking all of this stuff and like putting it on the side. Let's forget about the fact that it's going to be very female-centric, which I actually do have quite a few problems with. I'll talk about in a second. All right, let's forget that. Let's just say that there's the mainline Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's going to be a 6 / reboot, and it may or may not have Jack Sparrow. Okay, let's pretend, and then let's say that they say, hey, we want to do spin-off movies, and we want to have one with Margot Robbie. She's going to be a pirate. She's going to be in the same universe, but it's a spin-off movie, and we're going to do it. I think that's a fantastic thing. I will say that if you guys disagree, I honestly don't really get why. I mean, I respect your opinion, and you have every right to have your own opinion. I always say that. But I really think that's the way it should be. I think in order to keep Pirates growing, why not give us a Disney Plus show? Can we have a Henry and Karina TV show? Absolutely. Why not? WandaVision's doing it, right? Let's have a prequel Barbossa film, or like a Disney Plus special. Disney Plus honestly opens the door for a lot of this stuff. But you see what I mean? Just the basic idea of having these things existing is not a bad thing. Pirates is more than Jack Sparrow. However, and what I think a lot of people missed in that video that I did, talking about that, I do want Jack Sparrow. I mean, we need a proper farewell. I will always stand on, we need a Pirate 6. We need it to say goodbye to Jack, and then we can move on. Then we can talk about Pirates of the Caribbean without Jack. Now, I know some people are just still never going to agree. They'll say, okay, well, give us Pirates 7 with Jack. I mean, I get it. At the same time, I don't want a 65, 70-year-old Jack Sparrow running around screen. I don't even think he would be able to do that. You know what I mean? So I do think there's eventually a point where we can't do that anymore. With that being said, again, I want him in a 6. I want to make that. I don't know how many times I have to make that clear, but people still always get what I say very twisted, and it honestly annoys me when people are running with the wrong things basically that I'm saying. I think the basic premise, without knowing anything, now we do know stuff, and again, that makes me mad, and we'll talk about it, but the basic idea of having a Margot Robbie spinoff film is completely cool by me. If they want to do it with Karen Gillan, remember that rumor? Go ahead. Go ahead. In fact, she could probably be in Pirate. If there is a reboot and it doesn't have Jack in it, I bet you it probably is Karen Gillan. Okay, but like that would be fine if you do a spin-off movie with Karen Gillan. Fine, do it with Margot Robbie. Maybe do it with a male character. Maybe do it with I don't care. Do it with Davy Jones. Have a Davy Jones spin-off film. It just is a way of expanding the universe. Okay, I want to make that very clear. But here's where I join your guys' parade, okay? The fact that she says, the fact of the matter is, we knew going into this that this is a risky thing because while I like Margot Robbie, I think she's a very good actress. I don't think Birds of Prey is all that great. I don't think Suicide Squad with her is all that great. But I think her performance as Harley Quinn is really, really good. I also think just as an actress, she is really, really good. Okay? I believe that. So I like the casting. I mean, she's a fantastic lead in any movie. I would even say a Pirates movie. But when asked about the new things the film would bring to the franchise, to say females is a terrible answer. And I'm not saying that's on her, although she was the one that said it, but that kind of gets us into the mindset already of what we're in for. And this is where I 100% join your guys' bandwagon of boycotting it, of not wanting it at least, right? Because I probably will see it. We've talked about that before, right? I have my own reasons. I know people disagree. Whatever. We can move on. But, I will not like this if this is the whole basic premise. You don't go into Pirates 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 and you say, well, what does it bring? Well, it's got a lot of males in it. That's what it brings. Who says that? And that goes with the race stuff in Hollywood. That goes with the female versus male stuff. To say that your movie is going to bring with it a new feature in Pirates films, females being female-centric, is the biggest joke I've ever heard in my life. It really is. In fact, you could probably tell by my voice. It makes my blood boil. Because did they not watch the movies? Elizabeth is arguably the lead of Pirates 3. She's the main character. We talked about that. She is. In fact, I'll say it. She's the main character of Pirates 3. She's the most important character out of every one of them. Okay? Now, they all have shining moments. I've talked about it before. Pirates 3 is my absolute favorite. It's my favorite movie of all time. Okay? That's a perfect... maybe that's going too far. It's a perfect film. We'll leave that for the critics of me to discuss. Okay? Pirates 1 had her, though. Pirates 2 had... there are females. Females do exist. The Brethren Court has a female. She's the Pirate King. Calypso. Do you remember her? She's a... Oh, my God. Don't even talk about her race. Because that's probably never happened before. But it did. Pirates 4, well, I hated her. Angelica, huge part of that film. Love interest, but she's not a love interest of Jack, right? She's much, much more than that. Pirates 5, I would argue Karina, and I have argued for 3 years now, Karina and Barbossa are the best parts of 5. Jack is one of the worst parts of Pirates 5. That could be controversial, but I really don't think so. I think a lot of people would agree Jack was not used the right way in Pirates 5, right? I don't think it was Johnny's fault, but he was just used the wrong way. Karina was, I thought, I know not everybody agrees with this, I thought Karina was amazing. I thought Karina and Barbossa's scenes, especially when he realizes she's his daughter, was the best scene in that movie and also one of the best scenes in all of Pirates, okay? Now, again, these are subjective. These are my opinions. But, again, what's not subjective is the fact that we've had strong females in the Pirates films before. And what's also not subjective is you can't build your movie. I mean, I guess this is an opinion, but it really shouldn't be. Don't build your movies off of these kind of politics. Don't build your movie and say, why should you see this Margot Robbie spinoff movie? Well, because it's going to be doing this supernatural thing, or we're going to introduce this, or it's going to be a new way of looking at the world because we're going to do this instead of this. Like, give us examples like that. I want to hear those things. Don't tell me the reason I should be watching. And again, she didn't say that. They didn't ask her, why should we see this movie? But I guarantee you, I'd put money on this. And again, because I don't want her to say this, because I have a positive image of Margot Robbie like in my head. If she starts saying these things, it's really not going to turn out well for her. I'm sure the director/writer will say these things, and I'll just put it all on her. But you know what I mean? Like, as we get closer to the movie, I guarantee you guys that when asked about it, they're going to say what makes it so special is it's an all-female Pirates movie. Which, number one, that's very sexist, and I don't even care that I'm saying that. How can you think that having a full has it ever been a full male cast in Pirates? No, never. Not one time has it been all males. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you do that? Number one, that's being pretty sexist to males. And number two, that doesn't make me want. Why is that a main reason? Are these characters interesting? Are they and I'm not saying they have to be, but maybe are they connected to the characters we already know? One of them should. Now I'm not saying Margot Robbie needs to be like a descendant of Jack, right? But like, you know, if you have somebody that connects to that world, or maybe you have a villain, or maybe you just have nods to it. I mean, those are cool things. Like, maybe you don't have to focus on it, right? But those are things you can say. Again, maybe it's not gonna be supernatural. Maybe it's going to be more like piratey. I don't think that's a good idea, but you know, that would be a different take on it, okay? So maybe they do that. All of these are reasons why they should say, or all these are things that you would say out loud would be like, here's why you should see our movie, or here's the basic premise, or here's like the main features. You don't say it's going to be very female-centric, or it's going to be like an all-female thing. I don't care. That doesn't mean what does that mean to anybody? Doesn't mean anything. I think there's a lot of girls that watch Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a lot of girls that, you know, like Jack, like Will, like all these characters, right? I'm not saying that's, you know, there's anything to you know, go from that, but I mean, they like pirates. I'm sure they like the male pirates. I'm sure they like the female characters. There's nothing wrong with having both. So I'm not saying this movie's doomed before it comes out. I know a lot of people already already are in that boat, but this is not a way you start that. And I honestly, before I recorded this video, I didn't even know she said that. I was just going to talk about the fact that she was talking about that she can't say anything. But then I found out that she did say stuff, and that's upsetting, because that doesn't matter. And I guarantee you, the way Hollywood, I mean, this is just the way things go. When it is all females, the reason to see the movie is now the fact that it's all females. It's not that the females are interesting. It's not the fact that the females have good character development. No, it's the fact that there are females, and we've never done it before, so it must be absolutely amazing. And that is flat out not the case. And then I'll give you another prediction, final one for the video. Then the movie will bomb, and then they will blame males. Their primary audience. They will blame us. Okay? Now, again, I'll probably see it because I want to see it. I want to see if they destroy it or if they actually pull it off. But I'm sure this movie will bomb. I truly do think this movie is not going to do as well as they may think it will. And then, again, I'm sure they will all turn on us. The people that have been, by the way, Pirates fans for like 20 years, they'll turn on us for some God-unknown reason. So, obviously makes my blood boil. You will hear a lot more of these kind of rants or these kind of just more passionate stuff as we get closer, because eventually they'll start filming, and eventually a trailer will come out, and eventually they'll talk more about it, and that's when it really gets exciting on this channel, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon. As you guys have obviously noticed, I've covered Pirates, Margot Robbie, Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, all that stuff. I've covered quite a bit of it, and I have been for 4 years, so I'm definitely going to continue it as the years go on, okay? If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. I have a Discord server. I have a second channel. If you guys want to check any of those out, all 3 of them are in the description below, the links for them, okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.